Hello everyone. In today's session we will explore one of the solution which I have developed in last few months, and that is PKR ZATCA Integration solution. So in this video I will just showcase the features which are available in this integration solution. So what is this solution basically? So in KSA in Saudi Arabia, there is Zakat and Tax and Customs Authority, and they have made it mandatory stage-wise or phase-wise for many companies to onboard and synchronize or integrate their sales invoices, whether they are B2C, means retail sales, or whether it is B2B, business to business standard invoices. So they need to be synchronized with ZATCA. For B2C, there is a 24-hour time frame, and they can issue phase 1 invoice, which will be immediately issued to retail customer, and then within 24-hour framework they need to integrate B2C invoice or synchronize those invoice, push those invoice to ZATCA portal, which is called FATOORA portal, and B2B need to be acknowledged from ZATCA and then issued to the customer. So we will explore different options available, different features available in this PKR ZATCA integration solution. So to start with, we will just briefly introduce what the solution is, and then we will jump into the parameters form which is available, which provides you the basic settings. There are various tabs available in the parameter page, and then we have integration B2C page, which will basically summarize all the retail invoices or simplified invoices. Then we will explore integration B2B page, where all the standard invoices which are business to business invoices are basically kept and synchronized, and it keeps various features or statuses within this page. Then we will explore the pull transaction feature, which is briefly how we will pull these invoices which are B2C and B2B from retail and commerce module, as well as from account receivable or sales module for B2B. The push transaction feature, which provides the synchronization of the invoices B2C and B2B from integration page to the FATOORA portal, and then get also the acknowledgement. Finally, we will also demonstrate the solution, what are different features available. Okay, so to start with, PKR ZATCA integration solution provides first of all onboarding services. The onboarding services is just to onboard your business, which is B2C or B2B, that is retail, or it is for the wholesale or the big customers, company to company or business to business, to FATOORA portal, which is provided by ZATCA. So this solution provides onboarding services plus the renewal services. In the renewal, there is a digital certificate which is issued by the ZATCA authority, and this certificate is used as a security feature to encrypt your invoice, whether it is B2C or B2B, and then push towards the FATOORA portal, so that there is no loophole in between, because it is public internet is involved. So for that digital certificate, renewal services also provided. Then there is a compliance services, basically FATOORA portal or ZATCA portal need to check before you onboard your solution. They need to check whether your solution conforms with their requirements. So it can have checks like for B2C or B2B, you need to have the how to post the debit note, or how to post the credit note, how to post the regular invoices, whether it is simplified invoice in case of B2C and it is a standard invoice in case of B2B. So they need to check, and then they will issue the final production digital certificate, So before they will need to issue some preliminary certificate. So this compliance service also will be provided as part of this solution. Then we have B2C and or B2B invoice integration with ZATCA FATOORA portal based on the company's requirement. Each client they have a different requirement. Some they have only B2B and some may have only B2C, and some may have both of these business scenarios. Okay, so within this what we have a pull service which runs as a batch job, which has a schedule and a frequency when it will be running. So for example, you can set a period of 10 minutes to convert B2C or B2B invoice as ready to sync format to FATOORA portal. So it is up to us what is our requirement. Based on that, as a batch job in Dynamics 365, it can be scheduled as a pull service. So what is a pull service? Pull service is simply how we will pull from related modules. Like if it is B2C, so we will pull from retail and commerce module, from retail transaction page, and if it is B2B, then we will basically pull it from account receivable or sales module. Okay, the push service is simply once pull service has finished its job and it has made a ready format to be pushed, then push service will run after some period based on our requirements. Like we can give a half-hour gap or maybe 10 minutes gap, and then push service will run as a batch as well, and it will push the ready to send invoices to the FATOORA portal. Then also it is very important thing that we get an acknowledgement from ZATCA or FATOORA portal and update the transaction status, whether it is a B2C transaction or B2B transaction. That means an invoice. So we will keep that acknowledgement from ZATCA with us, ZATCA response with us, and along with the QR code, which is phase 2 ready. QR code generation is also part of phase 2 requirement, and this QR code is different than phase 1 requirement. So it will have additional features available in this QR code, and it will be shown as phase 2 QR compliant. So then we have fifth internal validation before invoices are submitted to correct the issue before submitting to FATOORA portal. So internal validation is ZATCA has provided an SDK. Using that SDK, we have validated our B2C or B2B invoice, and the results will be shown also within this solution, so that if there are certain errors, we can fix those errors before pushing to the ZATCA FATOORA portal. So this solution will not send any of the invoice which has internal validation issues until those are fixed. So this is a security feature, and it also give you peace of mind that if you, for example, not have validated the invoices and you push to ZATCA, then ZATCA will record that invoice and it will tell you that okay, because this has a validation error, so we are not accepting it, so please reverse that invoice and correct the errors and then again post the invoice. So it will have overhead that you need to reverse the actual invoice and then again push to ZATCA. So we are basically preventing this whole scenario, and we are as a preventive measure, we are validating it internally before submitting to ZATCA. So if validation has failed, we will not push to ZATCA until the errors are fixed. So this is a additional feature. Okay, now we will jump into our PKR ZATCA parameters. There are various tabs as you can see on the left hand side. So we will start with General tab first. What is General tab? It provides some of the features like whether our solution is enabled. So there is a checkbox called enable, and yes means that ZATCA status is enabled based on the onboarding date. So valid from is an onboarding date, and then there is a certain setting like there in some of the companies they are VAT group, part of VAT group, so the treatment of invoices will be different in case of VAT group. And then there is a ZATCA mode, whether it is a simulation mode or is a production mode. So these few settings are available here. Next, we have a company info tab, where we will provide the tax information number, VAT numbers, company registration or CR number, and along with this the national address and the solution detail like serial number and common name, etc. So this need to be in a particular format, and definitely you can see on the screen different field values are already filled as a sample values. Next is B2B certificate tab. In B2B certificate tab, there are different information as a sample we have filled, where different information related with the certificates which are involved from compliance, which as I mentioned initially, compliance is that ZATCA is checking that whether your solution is fulfilling the needs like debit, credit note, and invoices are need to be submitted at least one, so that they will issue the production certificate at the end. So we are also keeping here the production CSID and so the serial numbers and the different information like when it was issued, so what is the expiry date, and these things are response and request as a historical record has been maintained in this this tab. Next is B2C certificate tab, which also provides similar information, but this correspond to the B2C certificate which need to be issued separately. Okay, coming if I return to the company information, this company information is related with B2B. Okay, and in case of B2B, this information will be mostly used. Okay, then we have a customer types tab. In customer types, we will basically map the ZATCA customer type, that is either standard or simplified, with our existing customer groups which are available in D365, and these customer groups are available in account receivable module as a customer group. So in this we can say, like for example, 30 group is related with retail customer, so they are associated with simplified customer type in ZATCA, whereas the standard are 10, 20 and 80, which may be the wholesale or the big customers or B2B customers. So this is just a mapping. Then we have B2B payment method tab. In this tab we provide the payment methods which are available in ZATCA to map them with the B2B payment methods which are available in account receivable module. So cash will correspond to cash, and check in our account receivable will correspond to bank account in the ZATCA portal, and then simply credit will correspond to bank card, and electronic will correspond to bank account. Similarly, we have a B2C payment method mapping, in which the payment methods available in retail module for each of the store or retail channel is basically mapped to the ZATCA payment methods. So this is just like B2B, but B2C payment methods are available in retail module instead of account receivable. This is the only difference. Okay, next is the tax code parameters. Also we have zero rated and exempt tax and standard rate. So these are just sample values, but normally exempt or zero rated are for export purposes and some other reasons, and standard rate is normal 15% at this time. In Saudi Arabia we have 15% standard rate. So those can be mapped here as a cell tax code mapping to ZATCA tax code mapping. Then we have a stores included tab, which is very important in case of B2C. In this case we will have the option to enable, disable for each store and their common name, and the functionality map is to define whether it is normally in this case it will be simplified, and the national addresses for each of the store which is available. and as well as their Baladia license number, which is called Ruksa in Saudi Arabia, which is issued to each of the store, which need to be entered here. So every time a simplified invoice or B2C invoice is converted into XML, so this information will be also part of that XML file, and then that XML being encrypted will be pushed to the ZATCA portal. Okay, the next is a little bit technical one, but it need to be also mentioned here, that request configuration will be tab will present the license which my solution will be issued, and that license is based on yearly mode as well as for lifetime mode. So that license being encrypted will be provided until this license is available, then only the system will work. So this will be issued for lifetime or whether for 1 year, and different payment scenarios are available for different companies. Then the ZATCA login details and public key, private key information, and then certain configurational things and URLs which relate with the sandbox, simulation or production environment for FATOORA portal are also filled in this form to be used in the solution. Finally, the last tab in the parameter is simply the unit of measure mapping, because the ZATCA accepts only United Nations based unit of measure, so that need to be mapped with our existing in the system. So sometimes there are differences, so for that purpose this tab is also mentioned here. Okay, the next screen is integration log B2C page, which contains the following information, as you can see on the screenshot also shown. B2C simplified invoice, as they are pulled from the retail or commerce module, along with the QR code details, which is generated runtime once the invoices, B2C invoices are pulled, and then they are also converted to XML format. That XML is also encrypted while it is pulled, so that it can be sent as per the required format to ZATCA for synchronization. Secondly, B2C invoices are then pushed. Once it is pulled in first step, and all the XML encrypted and QR code, everything is generated, the second step will be to push these simplified invoices to the ZATCA portal, and to get the acknowledgement, that will be one JSON request will be sent, and the response in the shape of JSON will be received, and it will be also stored as archiving purposes. So pull and push jobs can be scheduled to run in batch as per the required recurrence pattern. That can be 10 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, based on the requirements. So normally ZATCA requires that all the invoices need to be synchronized within 24 hours frame once they are issued to the customer. So but based on the sales volume, this can be decreased. For example, every 10 minutes or every 30 minutes you need to pull and push the invoices to ZATCA in order to make it in small parts instead of full day transaction, which may be in thousands. It will be very difficult to pull and push. It is time consuming, but this solution is very efficient, and it is successfully implemented in different clients, and it is working solution, and it is efficiently written in codes. Code has been refactored as well, so it is much efficient than other solutions in the market. Okay, this is another screen or the tab of the same B2C page, which I have shown here. If you see at the top, there is overview, and there is a detail. So any invoice selected, you can go to details and you will find this. What is this? This is once the invoice is pulled, it will be keeping the XML here, and that same XML in encoded format. Encoded means with the digital certificate which has been issued from the ZATCA is now used to encrypt the same XML, okay, and that need to be in acceptable format. Then we have a previous invoice hash, which is also a security feature, and the current invoice hash. And this within this, it is already it will already check whether this both are correct or no. Otherwise, the ZATCA portal, FATOORA portal will not accept it. Then we have a raw QR code here stored, and plus a QR code as an image is also shown, which will be basically embedded with the invoice, the simplified invoice. As you can see in the retail and commerce, I will show in next slides that how it will appear in the simplified invoice as a phase 2 compliant QR code. And then there is a box which will store the internal validation results. Once it is internally validated within this solution using ZATCA SDK, it will keep all the errors. So warnings are right now accepted, but the errors are not accepted. So if there are any errors, we need to fix those errors before sending to ZATCA portal. So it will give you a peace of mind so that you internally fix those errors. Sometime national address are missing, sometime VAT number is missing, sometime CR number is missing, and similar typical errors which we can fix easily. Okay, so these are major parts in the log B2C page. And next, here you can see a simplified tax invoice. In a sample company, you can see there is a QR code shown here, and the ZATCA application scanned this to be perfectly phase 2 compliant. So this is a sample simplified tax invoice which is ZATCA compliant, phase 2 compliant. Okay, and the next one we will show you the simplified credit note, which is also ZATCA compliant, as shown on the right hand side, ZATCA phase 2 compliant, and on the left hand side it is shown simplified credit note. So these are just sample values to just demonstrate the solution. Okay, the next is integration log B2B page, which will keep all the records, the main records or main fields for the standard invoice. This screen contains B2B standard invoices as they are pulled from sales or account receivable module, along with generation of QR code details, generation of XML, and converted that XML to encrypted XML so that it is ready to be sent to ZATCA. So B2B standard invoices are then pushed, and request or response which is sent and received from ZATCA is stored for archiving purposes or debugging purposes. And then similarly, pull and push jobs are also available for B2B page as well, that can be run as a batch in some recurrence pattern or some timely fashion, like 10 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes as per the volume and requirement of the business. The next tab of the same page shows you the XML which is generated and XML encoded, which is encrypted with the digital certificate provided by ZATCA, and then current invoice hash and previous invoice hash is also shown, and then raw QR code is shown plus the image of QR code, and internal validation results, if there are any errors, will be also shown here. Okay, this is a sample of a standard tax invoice which is showing a big QR code on the right top hand side, and you can see the different lines are available in this, and the scanning shows that it is a phase 2 compliant e-invoice. Then the next slide, this slide gives you the overview of pull transaction feature. What it does, as you can see on the screen, there is a pulling B2C and B2B invoices from retail and account receivable sales module. So this pull transaction feature provides you to pull the transactions or invoices from retail module or account receivable or sales module, and convert it into the required format for ZATCA that I have already shown in previous screen on the integration B2B or B2C pages, that in XML encoded and QR code ready, and all that format is already made by this pulling service. And then we have a from and to date, so that if there is a specific date range, invoices which need to be synchronized can be easily pulled by using this date range control. So it will ignore the other remaining controls except the enabling or onboarding date, which was shown in the parameter. So whatever comes early, like if enable date is for example in this case is 2nd of January, so this pull service will only pull the invoices from 2nd of January instead of 1st of January. So both the combination of both will work together. So then we have customer types drop down here. So what it provides, whether you want to pull standard as well as simplified invoice, that is standard means B2B from account receivable or sales module, or simplified from retail module, or both. So if you select both and you give a date range, it will pull from both the modules, that is from retail as well as account receivable or sales module. Next we have the push transaction feature, and what it does, it gives you it pushes the B2C and B2B invoices from integration log forms or tables as a clearance service for B2B and reporting service for B2C. Both services work similarly, only B2B push service or the service which synchronize the invoices is called clearance, and the reporting service is for B2C. Both does the same work. It pushes the invoice to FATOORA portal and keeps the acknowledgement once it is received and accepted from ZATCA. Second thing is push transaction also has a date range from and to date, similarly like pull transaction, which gives you time frame to fetch invoices from. And then we have the selection of customer type, as you can see at the right hand side at the top. Just above service type, you can see customer types, standard or simplified or both. So the similar option here also available. So if you select both invoices which are not yet synchronized to ZATCA will be pushed to ZATCA. If it is already synchronized, so the solution will ignore those invoices. So now let's jump into demo. Okay, so this is a sample company which is USRT, which is Contoso Retail USA. Although I have little bit manipulated data in order to demo the solution, so I have changed the currency to Saudi Riyal. Okay, in this the tax module is used for this integration solution because ZATCA is for the tax authority, so the similar module is being selected, and you can see here a sub menu called PKR ZATCA. Within this sub menu you will find there is a sub menu called parameters. Within this there is a parameter page, and then we have sub menu of logs where we have two pages, integration log B2C and B2B, and we have operations involved here, which is push transaction and pull transaction. So let's explore one by one. As I have shown you on the previous slides in PowerPoint, these are different options available, and they are self-explanatory. In ZATCA mode we have sandbox, simulation and production, and the same information is kept in the request configuration page with different URLs which are defined here, and then credentials and the license which is available. So I will just go to company information, and you can see here the national address and VAT and other numbers for a sample company, and then you can see here B2B certificate information, B2C certificate information, just like I showed you in the slides, and customer types. I will just open here the drop down, and you can see standard or simplified enum values, and the customer groups. You can see wholesale customers are identified as a standard customer, major as well as standard, and retail will definitely be the simplified. So in this way we have mapped here. So there is a feature like you can add more records, and the same combination should not be repeated, so validations are being taken care. So for example, if you select standard and 10 again, and you just try to save it, so it will give you the error. Okay, so record already exists. So I will remove. It will not allow to repeat the duplicate records. Okay, then we will go to B2B payment methods, and you can see here also these are different payment methods available for ZATCA, and customer payment methods which are available in account receivable are available on the right hand side. So you can map which are the same payment methods on both sides, because sometime maybe the wordings are different. That's why this mapping is very important. And B2C also similar ZATCA payment methods are available, and here in the payment method name and payment method number different payment methods for retail modules are available which are mapped. And then in the tax code you can see there are services outside the scope of tax, standard rate, zero rated goods. This is ZATCA tax codes, and here our available tax codes in the tax module. Then we have stores included here, and you can see national address and the enable or disable selection, so that if some stores is now offline you can disable, and if some store is newly open you can just fill in other information until it is basically start selling, and then you can enable, and pull transaction and push transaction automatically will pick only those stores which are enabled here. And request configuration already defined, unit of measure is already defined, what unit of measures are available, so that need to be mentioned here. And here United Nations code for the same unit code is available. Next we will explore the integration B2C, that is simplified invoice integration, and you can see here ZATCA status showing not cleared. As soon as it is pushed it will automatically show the clear status. Now this right now it is showing ready to send status, and this is a reversal transaction showing the original invoice ID reference, and these are the numbers sequence. It should be in sequence for ZATCA requirement. There should be no number missing from this. So it is an automatic feature in this solution that it will assign a next number here. And invoice date, time, and everything remaining are self-explanatory with UUID, which is a unique ID assigned to each of the invoice. So in invoice amount along with tax amounts and invoice time, dates, everything is shown here. If you switch to the detail, on the detail page you can see here, if I little bit enlarge the report, once a reporting request is sent through push service, then we will receive some reporting response from FATOORA portal that will be stored here. Plus during pull it will convert to XML the same invoice, and then encode the XML using the production CSID, which is digital certificate provided by FATOORA portal. Then we have previous invoice hash number which was synchronized with ZATCA. It need to be in sequence, and the current invoice hash, and then we have raw QR code plus the QR code image, and if there are internal validation error, so those will be stored as well here. Okay, so this is a brief about integration log B2C. Then we can go to integration log B2B, and similar information. If there are certain validation errors, it will show the invoice status internal validation error, and this will not be sent to ZATCA until the validation errors are fixed. And you can see here different errors are shown here, maybe due to the invoice problem or this currency or these problems. Like this text code need to be similar like our Saudi style, but here it is because US company, so it is showing the internal validation error. But this solution is running in multiple companies with very smooth integration without any error so far, and it is continuously synchronizing without any failure. So you can see here also the tax amount, invoice amount, and all the voucher information, because each invoice once it is posted, so there is a voucher posted, and the invoice number assigned from the sales invoice are also shown, and there is a invoice number, another one which is required as per the ZATCA only to be numerics, also is available here. And similarly the QR code and XML encoded invoice hash, previous invoice hash, all related information is also shown here. So in order to just demonstrate you, I will just remove these, because these are not synchronized, only these are demo transaction. I will just run a full transaction for B2B, and here we will see the customer type. I select standard, and for only, for example, first week of January 2015, because the data in this sample company is available for 2015, and I will just run for 1 week, and you will see there will be transactions which were in this first week of January 2015, and those will be available here after a small period. Okay, now you can see there are different transactions available, and these are just the invoice number available in invoice journal. Once it is posted, only it will pick the posted invoice journals. So if there are invoices with internal validation, it will show the error, and it will not synchronize to ZATCA until you fix those errors. And similarly, there are some invoices without any error, so those are shown as ready to send. Once you run the push service, it will also synchronize. Okay, because here 15% tax is not available in Contoso, that's why maybe because of this the tax rates are not correct. So because of this it is showing like this. So but however, you can see here only the dates which are included are 1st of January. So our solution is correctly picking the dates based on the dialog which I have just shown you. Okay, similarly we can go to integration B2C, and from here also we can delete all, and it will not remove this already synchronized to ZATCA. Only it will remove once it is not yet pushed to ZATCA, and also the delete transaction will not work for any of already synchronized invoices. Of course, it is already part of ZATCA or FATOORA portal, so there is no logic, or there must be those invoices should not be deleted. This need to be kept in mind. Okay, now I will select customer type simplified, that is retail, and I will only select first week of January 2015, and let's see if there are some simplified invoices. Those will be shown here. Okay, now you can see various invoices simplified B2C have been picked, and this is also one of the feature that credit notes will always be assigned the last numbers, so that already there are some transaction for which the credit note has been passed should come already in the sequence, and it need to reverse those. So for example, these are the invoices simplified which have been converted with QR code, as well as it showing the lines. I will just show you for example one of the transaction. This is transaction number and receipt number also kept as a reference, although the new number here has been assigned to keep a sequence, and the digit only invoice number, which is a intermediary invoice number. So I will go to retail and commerce module and go to store transaction. Okay, within the store transaction I will clear the date filter, and I will go to the transaction number column, and I will put the filter on this credit note. Okay, this R means the credit note has been posted, and from the reports, this is a custom made report which will include the QR code. Now the standard report in the company without this solution will not have the QR code. So this report is also developed for this purpose, for ZATCA purpose. Okay, here you can see there is simplified credit note with the QR code. So if this transaction has not been pulled, it will not show any QR code. So I will pick another transaction which is not a credit note, and let's see. So this invoice, once printed, can be given to the customer from the back office. Okay, so this is a normal simplified tax invoice which is also showing a QR code, and it is phase 2 compliant as shown in my slides. Similarly, if we go to integration log B2B, okay, in the B2B also we will pick one of the invoices from here, and we will go to account receivable module, and from here we can go to the invoice journal, which is available here. This is the sales based invoice. So in order to pick this invoice, which is now part of B2B integration log, I will see from the document original preview. Okay, now you can see there is a QR code on right hand side for which is phase 2 compliant, and the remaining requirement as phase 1 that all the labels should show in Arabic, and English is optional, and you can see the totals and amount with VAT, without VAT, sample standard invoice phase 2 compliant. So this is all about this solution. Plus we will also show you there are in the parameters form, you can go to B2B certificate or B2C certificate page, and you will see the push transaction services available, which will here show you different options, which is B2B CSID compliance service and B2B CSID onboarding services. Then we have the renewal services, compliance services for B2C, onboarding service for B2C, and B2C renewal service for CSID, that is digital certificate issued from the ZATCA. And we have then invoice compliance service. Before onboarding, we need to run all compliance steps which need to be ensured that debit note, credit note, and invoices are ZATCA compliant. And then we have a B2C reporting service and B2B clearance service. So whatever option we select, based on that this will change. Okay, so this is all about this. And similarly in PKR ZATCA submenu, you will see operations. Same push transaction is available, as well as the pull transactions are available. Behind it there are multiple steps which will be taken care automatically. So if you are pulling the standard invoices from and to date is given, so it will take some of the information from parameter and take the remaining invoices B2B from the account receivable sales module. Similarly, simplified will take pull the transactions or the invoices from retail module, and then push service will be used to push those once ready to send invoices from integration logs. And integration logs will keep the invoices as per the ZATCA requirement for archiving purposes within this tab, within this page, so that later on if you want to, if ZATCA wants to audit, it will be available, readily available within D365 environment. So the major benefit is this solution is based on the top of D365 modules or infrastructure. It is not a third-party solution which is in a kept in middleware to leak your data or make unsecure your data. It is a secure data once it is kept within your legal entity. So the remaining security features as Dynamics 365 is providing will be kept as it is. So if any company or companies are interested in purchasing this solution, just let me know and directly message me or through my email or my WhatsApp number, which is already shared. Thank you very much, guys. Take care. Bye bye.